moments with both of you before the match, so I just wanted to ask you a couple questions. Come on close to me. Come close to me. Now, I heard you had been practicing together before this. Can you tell me about that? How did it go?
So basically, we practiced on like Tuesday night at like on one of our hotels, and we practiced the matchup, and I was able to make some edits to my deck thanks to my testing against Riley.
That's exciting. Riley, are you confident against those changes?
I don't think the changes are super important into my deck. I think they're just good for his deck in general, and I've already beaten that deck, so if things go right, I can do well.
We're very excited to see how this goes. Thanks for the insight, both of you. We're going to let you take your seats, and we're going to get right into this match. Casters, take us away.
Thank you so much, Anna. Everybody, Pokemon trading card game is not just about the cards. It is not just about the decks. It is about the legacy. And right now on this stage, the biggest Pokemon stage that we see, two trainers sit at the peak of our Masters division. They've battled fiercely through the competition. They are now at this moment in time, taking down these rivals, and one promise remains, and it is eternal, the title of world.
So, we got Riley Mckay with Gardevoir up against Justin Newdorf with PultNoir. Riley took down Shizuki Nakagawa with Raging Bolt and Advent Svinavad, which should have been one of maybe his toughest matchup in Charizard Pidge Noir. And then, but he does play Flood Main Diva, so that probably helped a lot in that matchup. And then Justin took down Junior Tanaka on Zard and didn't show it there. I missed it. I'm trying to remember who played against Humpy. We watched it, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just get into it. I think it was Marcos Cifuentes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was up against Enzoroark. They both got the Anaheim Pokemon jerseys on. So, it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is huge, right? For both players, this is by far their biggest accomplishment, as it is for most players, if they're going to make it to Finals of Worlds. And there's also be a first major event win in general for either player. Someone is going to get their first major event win today. I think Justin, this is either his first or second season in Masters. Even if it's his second, still very impressive. But I think it might even be his first. I mean, he wouldn't be the first person to win Worlds his first year in Masters, but still be on a pretty exclusive club. Still a major accomplishment. And I learned last night that this is Gumi35, who's very on Play Limitless, very common name to see in online events. I did not know that when I was watching the stream yesterday. Continuing to see how players are able to convert that online success into on-the-table success. I don't think it's necessarily... I don't think doing well online is necessarily indicative of that you will do well in person. The average competition is certainly much lower in online tournaments. However, it does show that you are practicing and putting a ton of time into the game, and that goes a long way. Riley has been... Riley's been playing for a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I'm pretty sure we were both in seniors at the same time at one point. So, and this may be like his third year in Masters. Maybe only his second. I think it's his third though. I'm pretty sure it's his third. Because he was playing Arctura. Yeah, he has a day 2 with Arctura, which was 2023. 2023 season. So. But yeah, NAIC was his first like big finish, and following up immediately with finals at Worlds is crazy. This might just be indicative of him, you know, finding his deck, and also maybe he's putting the time in. I don't know Riley that well, but he's definitely not someone who went to like every tournament the past few years. So maybe he just really locked in this season and has been putting more time in, and it's showing in the results. Looks like we're ready to get started here. After finishing second at NAIC, I'm sure Riley really wants to actually convert it to a win this time around. So, but obviously, everyone's goal, to some degree, even some players might, you know, not actually aim that high. They might not feel, more casual players might not be thinking, oh, I'm gonna win Worlds. But at the end of the day, that's the pinnacle of Pokemon achievements, right? Everybody wants to win Worlds. Both these players have probably been dreaming of getting to this stage for a long time. And this is their chance. Okay, seeing these hands come out. Looks like a basic from Justin, since he hasn't flipped over the hand yet. I think Gardevoir is... I don't know. I actually kind of think PultNoir is favored now. I feel like with the way both lists are built now, PultNoir, I think, has a slight edge. With the Hildas and the Neo Upper, feels like it can much more consistently pull off some big Dusknoir plays and just sort of board wipe. But I think he's close to 50-50. I would give the slight edge to Justin. I think that Riley has, you know, he has a Fluttermane and Devo in his list, which could come up here. I mean, he has 4 Monkey, I believe. That's what I saw on Twitter. So I think he should have 4 Monkey, 4 Dark, which is obviously very good into Pult. So that goes a long way. 2 Dracoloak prize from Justin could be quite unfortunate, especially because they're not early prizes here. 1 Kirlia prize from Riley could actually be very relevant, especially 1 Kirlia and 1 Weird Candy means if he only gets 1 Kirlia out and he gets knocked out, he's only gonna have 1 Weird Candy to try to get out of Gardevoir. So this could be, these are deceptively bad prizes for Riley. They don't seem maybe as bad as they are, but I feel like in this matchup, prizing a Kirlia and a Weird Candy is pretty rough. Hoping we can get some fast games here, but I'm not optimistic. PultNoir versus Guardy. I feel like this is gonna be a long finals, which is good. It's good, but not for my attention span. But we want to see lots of Pokemon play here. Looks like doing the prize check as Justin. You're certainly not gonna forget to prize check anything in World's Finals here. Gonna be thorough. Especially with the 75-minute clock, both players probably not super worried about time. But in this matchup, we could, if both players are taking their time, we could absolutely see this be a 2-game set. We could see like a 40-minute and a 30-minute game easily. 2 40-minute games. honestly, even with 75 minutes, if we'll see how fast both players play throughout the set, and that'll kind of determine, you know, what it looks like we'll be able to reach. But if both players, like, with the 75 minutes in mind, are really taking their time, we might still end up, we still have a pretty good chance, I think, of ending up in turns in Game 3. Because 75 minutes generally should be enough to finish a best of 3. But especially if both players are playing maybe a little more thoroughly because of how much time they have, we easily see a PultNoir versus Guardian matchup go to 40 minutes, and we can see that happen multiple times. I mean, I think Andrew Hedrick and Henry Chow's Gardevoir versus PultNoir matchup at the start of this rotation went to time, right, in 75 minutes, best of 3. So Poffin, Dreepy, and Badoo. Attach the active and pass. Pretty standard Dragapult open. Got an Ultra Ball for next turn. I think maybe had an Iono to draw some cards if he needs. Riley's gonna do his prize check now. Now, if the pressure's on anyone to play a little bit faster, I think both players don't have to worry too much about time, but if either player is going to be worried about time, it is going to be Riley. Because he is definitely disadvantaged if they go to time in Game 3. Justin's usually going to be able to take more prize cards quicker. That being said, as Riley, you just cross that bridge when you get there, probably. I think at least for Game 1, you're probably not that concerned about time. You're probably not thinking that you might run out of time until Game 3, maybe. Or even, like, late Game 2, maybe you're starting to be like, okay, how much time is left in round? Are we going to have time to finish a full Game 3? But especially with the +2 turns. Plus 2 turns is... Honestly, +2 turns in this format is like such a large percentage of the game. In this matchup, it's definitely less, much less. There's way more turns played in general, but it's still a good chunk of the late half of the game. Once both players are set up and start attacking, there's really not that many turns left to be played. We're arbiting for Secret Box and Devo, and then probably just discarding the Devo with the as fodder for the Secret Box. Secret Box, Psychic. Okay, he hasn't chosen a third card yet. He has the other rare candy in hand that might honestly be bad, because if Justin does get a knockout on Curlia, or like Riley's only Gardevoir, he's probably going to combine that with an Iono. But if he doesn't get Itchy, I mean, he's going to get Itchy Pollen, so I'm not going to finish the sentence. I was going to say, if he doesn't get Itchy Pollen, not a great way to start a sentence in this position. Justin's definitely going to Itchy Pollen next turn. Discards Monkey along with a double Psychic, it looks like here. Getting Research, Artisan, Nest Ball. No Evo? Does he only play one? No way. I think he only plays one. Didn't see another one in his hand. He's eyeing up the Curlia there though. Nest Ball. What's that? The other Pokemon there is just another Alt, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, I guess he did already with the event hand, my bad. I mean, maybe he did grab it off the secret box, but it was kind of like underneath other cards. I doubt he plays a third Curlia here. I think we're just going to see the one come out. I didn't see it. I don't remember seeing a third Curlia. I was looking at his list yesterday. I should probably pull up their lists. I think I know them pretty well, but just so I can speak with more confidence. So we got the Ultra Ball coming down here to find the Dracloak for Justin. Probably just evolves the bench one in case he can find Latias before he needs to evolve the other one. Gets a Duskull out here. Got another Poffin coming down. Does evolves the active. I mean, it doesn't matter too much if he's not going to bench Latias anyways, which probably don't want to bench Latias in the matchup. And I mean, he's got the other Poffin, so he's filling the bench regardless. So in this case, it doesn't really matter whether he evolved the active or the bench. It could matter. I guess the only situation where it can matter here is if he attaches Neo Upper Energy to this for turn. Then it would, then you could discard the fire, have the retreat, still have this set up. And even then, you could just test Neo Upper Energy the other one. So I don't think it ever matters here, except for Latias potentially. This opens up the option if he didn't want to retreat for whatever reason, but I don't. He's definitely going to Nature Pollen here, so don't think that's really a consideration either. It's an Iono off the Recon Directive. Might want to use that. How many cards are in Riley's hand? Luminous Energy out of the Dracloak. I don't think he's playing the Iono. Since he didn't, he would have played it before retreating. I don't think he already plays for this turn, but I could be wrong. But maybe he just didn't think Riley had the hand. Knows Riley has a research, I think, at least, right? Because he grabbed that off the secret box. There's the Guardy. Yeah, so we do see a position here, right, where if the Guardy does get knocked out, thanks to using like PultNoir, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay, but we're gonna see Riley to make sure that doesn't happen here. He's just gonna retreat into the Screamtail. Maybe I missed Justin playing it. I was trying to look for the deck lists. Just wanted to look at the discard pile quick. Dark Energy is attached to Gardevoir. Making sure that doesn't get trapped. Definitely a play that you're a little bit more comfortable making when you play 4 Dark. And now Justin's going to need to find 2 Dracloaks at some point here. Because otherwise, the Roaring Screams are just going to keep coming down on the Dracloak. One is not going to cut it. So there's one Dracloak with the Night Stretcher. Going for the Recon Directive. Creepy Dusknoir. Keeps the Dusknoir. I don't think he plays Rare Candy, so I'm not sure why keep the Dusknoir here. I feel like you could bench the Dreepy and get some advantage out of that. But if you're gonna Iono, then the Dusknoir's just gonna end up on the bottom here. Buffering for some reason. Pause. Alright, there we go. We are back. Let's 2 times speed this until we catch up. I don't think we were, I mean, we weren't down long, so. But I don't want to be panned at all. So we got the Hilda coming down. So I guess he's just not going to Iono this turn, so he's going to go for the Dusknoir play next turn. Hilda makes sense, right? You want to guarantee that second Dracloak. You don't want to risk only getting one Dracloak out this turn again, because that's like a huge momentum loss. Started playing the game with Palkia Chempao during 2023. Nice. That was a fun one. If only we had asymmetrical cut at that World Championships. We got the Itchy Pollen. So yeah, he just counter catchered the Guardy. Itchy Pollen that. And that's probably... So I was hoping there was no energy there. There is an energy, so it's not going to be stuck there. Looks like we are back up to where the official stream is now. Oh, maybe not. Get this going at 2 times speed again. Make sure that we catch up. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna retreat to Screamtail. Probably just gonna take out another Dracloak, right? There's not really much else to be done. Just a Genebrain. Move 20 onto a Dracloak. Debating. Is he not gonna go for, or is he gonna put another energy on the? Okay, no, he's just going for the Duskull knockout here. I mean, the Duskulls definitely present more potential for a big turn from Justin, right? Riley knows that he already has the Neo upper energy in hand, so he knows that Dragapult is likely, like Phantom Dive is likely this turn. And then on top of that, if he has Dragapult plus double Dusclops, that could be a knockout on Screamtail and a knockout on Munkidori. Be a 3-price turn easily, but I mean, maybe he's scared of like Rare Candy Dusknoir as well. He might. I think both players, I'm gonna assume, know each other's lists 100%, but we don't know for sure. Usually, these players going into finals always know their opponent's list 100% because they've been on stream multiple times, and even if they don't want to spend the time, usually a friend will go and watch the stream and watch all of their opponent's stream games to make sure that they can write down all 60 of the player's deck list. So that way both players have each other's deck list. A lot of times players will even just exchange lists before finals even starts, so that they don't have to bother. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to see Justin is going to try to gust this Gardevoir again. And once again, just try to stick this in the action spot. You might even be trying to trap it this time. Just putting 200 on it so they can finish off with the Dusknoir on a future turn. Oh, no, he's just Itchy Pollinating again. My bad. So Riley does only have one Psychic in this power right now. So he's going to need to draw into another one off the Iono. So Justin's just trying to buy as much time as possible while he sets up his board, and then he's going to try to knock out both Gardevoir and the Kirlia in the same turn. Hopefully, Gardevoir, Kirlia, and Screamtail will go down. That's why Riley targeted the Duskull. He's trying to prevent that big combo turn from coming down. But at this point... Okay, Riley did find the other Psychic, so he's going to be able to retreat and target down the Dusclops here. He might just go for the Duskull, but I definitely think we're going to see the Dusclops. Yeah, okay, so 30 off the Guardy, onto the Dusclops, and then we're just going to Roaring Scream it. Now, Justin is choosing to take this line of trying to, like, trap multiple turns when he could have Phantom Dive last turn, and it's kind of awkward now, because now that Riley has found the energy, if Riley whiffed that turn, that would be a huge momentum game from Justin. It'd be so worth it. But now it's a little bit tougher. I mean, definitely needed to wait a turn anyways, because he needs to get an energy on that Dracloak as well. If he Phantom Dive last turn and they got knocked out, then he wouldn't be able to Phantom Dive on the next turn anyways. So he definitely had to wait regardless. But now we're in a position where we can't really go for that big Dusknoir plus Curly, or Gardevoir plus Curly a knockout, because we only have access to Dusclops. We can't even knock out Gardevoir in general. And Riley has now found the Curly off the prizes. So now those prices that I said might be a concern for Riley, no longer a concern really at all. So at this point, if you're Justin, you're probably like reconsidering your line a little bit. I think it's still important to try to get Dusclops out if you can, of course. But I think here you're just going after Munkidori, Screamtail. You would just like to knock those both out. Let's see what he's grabbing here. So, yeah, eyeing up that Ultra Ball. Probably plays the second Dusclops. I don't think the other one is in discard already, but it could be. Ultra Ball, getting rid of Poffin. Eyeing up the Jamming Tower. I don't think that's too bad here. I don't think Riley plays a lot of tools. I don't know if he plays Bravery Charm at all, actually. He doesn't play Drifloon. But it could still be nice to just bump the Artisan, right? That could still be something that Justin is looking at. But we're just gonna grab Blood Moon here. And then we have a Hilda for Dusknoir and Luminous Energy. I don't think Justin plays Rare Candy, so this Dusknoir is just for next turn. Or just a Thin. He might not even have Dusclops this turn. Munkidori, Adrena Brain. So that is a huge tool for Justin here. Gets him lots of healing and some very important additional damage. Countercatcher probably targeting on Munkidori. He's debating. Okay, it's gonna be the Gardevoir. So prioritizing, still trying to go for the double knockout here. But if Riley just evolves into a Gardevoir next turn, this other Curly into a Gardevoir next turn as well, then I don't think the double knockout is possible. It looked like Riley just had game there. Wait, let's back it up one step. Let's see what he revealed there. So Riley only has 3 prizes, right? So we Phantom Dive, 60 on Curlia. Yeah, he just shows the Lilies of Fairy, and then yeah, he has Adrena Brain on the Badoo. That's all he needed. So a pretty uneventful game 1. I don't think there's much that Justin could have done differently. I think he was slow to set up, and Riley set up very quickly. Justin was trying to play for a big board wipe turn, which is what you have to do against Guardy. If you try to just take a couple prizes at a time, you're always going to have the response, and you're going to run out of Dragon Balls to attack with. Especially because he didn't have optimal energy attachments. He had to discard one off the retreat, and then his next one got targeted down by Screamtail. So he was a couple attachments behind where he optimally could have been. So yeah, I'm just going to do a replay here. Of this roaring stream just tearing apart Justin's board turn after turn. This is never what you want to see here, right? Like, this is smart. You just kept trying to trap the Gardevoir. Okay, keep finding ways to find Psychic Energy. But Riley just always had a way. And, I mean, it wasn't that unlikely for Riley either, right? Like, odds were that he was probably going to be able to find energy to retreat with. But it was just Justin's best thing to try to trap there. Might as well try to trap something. But yeah, Riley just kept finding the piece that he needed. And I think at all points had pretty good odds of finding the pieces that he needed. If Riley, as long as Riley can set up like that game 2, I think he should still be in good shape. I mean, big part of the problem for Justin was just only having the one Dracloak out on that second turn. Made a very easy target with Dracloak with energy on it for the Screamtail. And of course, Riley just having the Screamtail turn 2. But maybe we'll see Justin get a stronger setup quicker in this game. On the other hand, as Riley, gotta be feeling great. You just came second in NAIC, and now you're up a game in Worlds Finals a couple months later. I'm being super confident. Back-to-back events, back-to-back finals, up a game. Just need to win one of 2 more games in what is a pretty 50-50 matchup to become the world champion. Super, super impressive here. We've never seen anything like this. I mean, we've seen, obviously, players have phenomenal runs, maybe comparable runs, but we've never quite seen an NAIC finalist make it very next major event to Finals of Worlds, let alone win it. And I feel like all the energy is on Riley at this point. The legacy, the back-to-back, up a game, he's got all the momentum on his side. That being said, Justin's playing the game well. He just needs stronger starts or weaker starts from Riley. And set up a little bit quicker and just sort of board wipe. And he might be able to still dominate these games. You play PultNoir because you can never write it out. Now, Riley nestballing for Mew right off the bat is not a great sign for him. Means his hand might be kind of weak. But, I mean, honestly, not too bad of a sign, because it also implies that he can get his hand pretty low here, which means he's got a lot of these cards in his hand should be playable, which might mean a pretty solid board turn 1, and then just restart, refill a little bit. I saw an Evo TM in his hand, so he's got that for next turn. He does play 1 Bravery Charm, I assume, but I wasn't sure. We didn't see it game 1. He's gonna look over everything. Ralts to the front. Okay. Prizes checked, it looks like. You see an Ultra Ball getting rid of Counter Catcher and Rare Candy, probably grabbing that Ralts that he just moved to the front. Doing one last scan of the deck, but yep, gonna grab that Ralts. Obviously doesn't want to attach that Evo this turn, so he's not going to be able to thin that from the hand for restart. And again, we can assume that he probably doesn't have like a supporter, since he didn't, since he needs to grab the Mew. But on the other hand, Justin is not going to want Iono into a low hand size from Riley, which is actually kind of a good thing because he already has the Evo TM, so he's going to get to keep that for sure. He might not even have the energy though, so very up in the air about how good this hand is until we see cards come down. I see a Psychic. Oh, there's a Dark even, so we got the Monkey already set up. Actually, maybe I didn't see a Psychic. Maybe it was just the Dark. Yeah, we restart for 1. He's got Kirlia, Evo, Devo. That's not very good. Yeah, he's going to pass. I mean, he could burn the Devo, but it definitely could become useful in this matchup. Worth keeping around. We see the Poffin immediately from Justin. Going to grab some Dreepies. Want to get those Dracloaks out as quickly as possible so we don't have a repeat of game 1. But of course, because he just in prize check as well here, he's got Jamming Tower, Counter Catcher, Psychic, Dreepy, Duskull, and Professor's Research is the one that's hidden by my face here. Nothing too relevant. I mean, he probably only plays 2 Duskull, actually. That's pretty bad. Having the... he might play a 3rd. Having the additional... Having 2 Duskull down is pretty important here, in my opinion. We see 2 Dreepies immediately. There is only 1 Duskull being moved to the front here, so I think he does only play 2. Counter catchers. Yeah, I mean, he's just prize checking. Nothing really much for me to add to a prize check. But what would we like to see Justin do this game if he only has 1 Dusclops? I mean, you could still try to do something pretty similar. We know that Riley's hand is obviously very bad. However, it's actually not that bad now that I think about it. Because we just go... He can burn all 3 of those cards, right? We just evolve into Kirlia, attach the Evo to the active, attach the Evo to the Mew, then restart, get a fresh hand of 3. I mean, depending on what the top deck is, obviously that's got to be burnable as well, potentially, or it might be useful otherwise. But then we just Evo TM the Kirlia into the Gardevoir, and we don't have to worry about the Dusclops coming down on the Kirlia quite yet. Now, so Justin's still just going to build up to 1 Dusknoir and hope that Riley doesn't get into the Kirlia down, and then he can just knock out the Gardevoir with Dusclops plus Counter Catcher, or sorry, Dusknoir plus Counter Catcher and Phantom Dive. Now, on the other hand, Riley wants to get another Ralts down to avoid that, but Justin also plays Hawlucha, so we can still see that come down from Justin to knock out the Gardevoir and the Ralts on the same turn. Is that a Research? I think it was. Oh, man. You top deck Research here as Riley. You gotta feel like... this is yours to win. I kind of would like to see the restart before the Research, maybe. It's kind of risky, I guess, but... you're probably not going to be able to restart after the Research. Well, drew Secret Box, actually, so maybe he will be able to restart. Now, I don't know how much you actually care about the Jamming Tower from Justin. I believe he did end up discarding, or no, he didn't discard one, he just has 1 prized. So, if you're worried about the Jamming Towers, then you probably don't want to discard your other Artisan here. But, I mean, Bravery Charm is he only plays 1 Bravery Charm. He doesn't play Driftling or anything like that, so, you might be content to just play the rest of the game without tools if a Jamming Tower does come down. Because it's tempting to discard the Artisan with that Secret Box there. But he's just not going to Secret Box. Or he can't Secret Box anyways this turn. But we're going to see the Evo TM come down, evolve into Gardevoir and Kirlia. Yeah, this is a very good setup from Riley. And Justin only having access to 1 Curse Blast at a time, in the early game at least here, means he's not going to be able to knock those both out at the same time. And he doesn't even have a Duskull down yet, so he's like way behind momentum-wise. Honestly, I would put so much money on Riley winning, even just this game. The set even more so because he's already up a game, obviously. But like, he's just already completely set up. Justin has so few options to curb this aggression. Riley can just Artisan for a Screamtail next turn. Now, the big thing that Justin is going for him here is that Riley doesn't have any Psychic into this pile yet, right? So he can't necessarily start attacking yet. We're gonna need to see, you know, a research and some Psychics drawn for Riley. But I don't think he had any Psychic or research in hand before the Iono, so pretty good chance of drawing some of those pieces. I see a Stark and a Psychic and a Fluttermane in Riley's hand. So we got research in hand for Justin here. Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, Dracloak, another Nest Ball. Recons for another Dreepy. Thinking, I mean, I'm sure that Dreepy's gonna come down, but we're gonna Artisan first, get a Duskull. Even if we can only use one, it's still a very important piece here. And then I think I'm surely we will see the Dreepy also come down. It's got a pretty big hand, but I think it's mostly just Pokemon search cards. Gonna play the Nest Ball. For is he just okay? Maybe he's just gonna Nest Ball for a Dreepy and hold the one that's in hand. I might have had a Dreepy prize though. Just gonna fail this. Oh no, I think that's a Dreepy being eyed up there. So this is good. I mean, if you want to burn a Nest Ball, oh no, it's the Munkidori. Okay. So yeah, I mean obviously Munkidori's good to get down here. I wonder if he has a Luminous to commit to that this turn. If he has any energy, that's relatively fine. He doesn't need to regenerate in this turn. Obviously, there's no damage on his board. So even if he just has like a Psychic or Fire, that could still come on down with the Dracloak. But it is definitely important that he gets an energy attachment somewhere this turn. Honestly, an energy on a Dracloak is probably better than a Luminous on the Monkey. Yeah, he even has Luminous, but he's going to commit to the Dracloak here. Just so you don't... you still be pretty afraid of Screamtail, right? You don't want your one Dracloak with Neo up here to get Screamtailed and then not access to Phantom Dive. The Luminous on the Munkidori certainly is nowhere near that important. Now, what's Riley got here? I think he has nothing, kind of, to be honest. It looks like a lot of items, and then a Munkidori, 2 Psychics, a Munkidori, a Fluttermane, and then the rest items. Is what I think we're seeing here. He's going to Artisan out another Munkidori. Then, I wonder if he'll attach the Psychic and retreat rather than attaching another Dark. Oh, he chooses not to. He just fails the Artisan here. I wonder if he's going to bench the other Munkidori. Because he's going to bench the Munkidori anyways. I would have liked to see him just Artisan for one. Because that thins the deck out a little bit, right? You get one Munkidori out of the deck rather than playing the one from hand. The one from hand stays in hand. I'm very curious why he decided to do this instead. Maybe... Okay, here I'm thinking he does this because if... Okay, I see the vision. Yeah, if Justin goes Dusclops on the benched Monkey, Phantom Dive, knock out Monkey, and Iono on the same turn, then he wants to keep that other Munkidori in the deck so that he has a chance of drawing into it. He doesn't want it to be on the bottom. So this makes sense. He's just planning for the worst case scenario here. I mean, honestly, it's not that far-fetched, right? It's only a few more pieces that Justin would need here. I don't think he has it yet, but it wouldn't be too surprising. We've got Dusknoir or Buddy Poffin. Definitely think we're taking the Dusknoir here, because I don't think we... Unless we're researching this turn, but I don't think so. I think we're... Oh, we might take the Buddy Poffin if we want a double Ultra Ball. Yeah, okay. He does want a double Ultra Ball. Because he does have at least 2 Ultra Ball in hand. So, maybe we're researching too then. If we go Ultra Ball for Dusclops, Ultra Ball for Dracloak, attach return, and then research. Is that what we're going for here? Are we just going to take out the monkeys? Oh. If he's going for Hilda, then I kind of would have liked to keep the Dusknoir, I think. Psychic and Dusclops off the Hilda. Debating the Luminous. I think he's debating whether he wants to attach to the other Dracloak or if he wants to attach to the Munkadori here. Size, it's better to attach to the Dracloak in case of Iono plus knockout and Dragapult. He might not. Is he just not? Yeah, I don't think even think he's gonna Ultra Ball here or attack. I think we're just gonna see Dusclops attach, spreads it out to the other Dracloak, and then a pass probably. Yeah, we're just gonna see the Itchy Pollen. He's gonna wait one more turn, then next turn Ultra Ball for Dragapult and Dusknoir. And then what? What are you trying to knock out at that point? Do you go for the Mew to limit the opponent's draw? Do you go for like Mew Munkadori? Or do you just go for the Gardevoir and hope your opponent doesn't find another one? But if you go for Gardevoir, you're only taking... That's the only knockout you're taking. The rest of the board remains intact, which means like Riley, we really just need to find Gardevoir in response to have a good board. He still needs a Psychic Energy into Serpile though. Hasn't done that yet. And we still don't see him do that this turn. He's got one, but that's not going to cut it for what he wants to be doing. So we see him play patiently, just pass it over to Justin. Recon, Blood Moon, and Ultra Ball. I think he's probably just going to take the Blood Moon as discard fodder. Yeah. Already has multiple Ultra Ball in hand, so you'd rather just keep the other one in deck. Does not want to get rid of it. Recon, Dracloak, and Night Stretcher. Probably the Dracloak is more expendable if you end up wanting to go for a research at some point. But if you're going to use Dusclops anyways, you might take the Night Stretcher to get the Dusclops back. I think he did take the Dracloak. Last Recon, Night Stretcher, and Iono. That might be the piece that he was looking for. He might want the Iono here. Yeah, takes the Iono. Now he doesn't have to research. I don't know if he was going to research anyways. But now he won't have to if he wants to draw cards. Not committed to that. So, Ultra Ball, Dracloak, and Poffin. Yep. Grabs the Dusknoir. Boom. So what are we doing here? Are we going to blow up on the Guardy? Is that the plan? Countercatcher, Guardy, blow up, Iono. Or, sorry, blow up on Guardy, Countercatcher, and then Iono. But I don't think he has the Countercatcher yet, though. I could have just missed it, but I don't think I saw it in hand yet. But we'll see here. He could still fish for the Countercatcher on the Iono, but we might also just see the safer play might be to Dusknoir the Mew and just knock that out on the bench instead. Gonna evolve into Dragapult here. He could also wait until after Iono to Dusknoir, but then Riley gets 2 more cards because he gets the 6 off the Iono plus the 1 prize card from the Dusknoir. So I don't think we're ever doing that. I think we gotta commit to the Dusknoir first, so that we can Iono Riley to 5 and then just get any additional cards after that. But does he even want to commit the Dusknoir at all? He's eyeing up Boss, so he might just not Iono. Riley hasn't. I mean, Riley's probably got a bunch of items in hand, right? You gotta assume if Riley's been doing not a lot under Itchy Pollen. I think he is gonna Boss though. Yeah. This is the safer line because like I said, you don't want to Iono and then Curse Blast. So you're pretty much committing not using Dusknoir if you Iono first. And then you don't want to Curse Blast Iono and then miss the Countercatcher. That would be awful as well. I don't think you want to go for the Mew knockout, certainly. He's just gonna Phantom Dive here. Not even gonna blow up the Dusknoir yet. Gonna wait and blow it up next turn. That way, there's a turn of potential for Gardevoir to be just trapped here. If Riley still can't get those energy in the discard pile. You see an Earthen Vessel, so that's a good start. I assume that's another Earthen Vessel, yeah. So that's not the one that we were looking at. So he's got at least one Psychic Energy in the discard pile now. Potentially get a third Munkidori down here as well, though, and start and just like triple Agenda Brain, take a knock on a Draclo. But then that's not a bench spot for Clefairy. With the Mew, though, he's also got Phantom Dive potential. Ooh, there is a Research in hand. So he really just needs to find Clefairy. I think I see it in the deck. It's not prized. Yep, and there's the Research in hand. So he's going to get all the Psychic Energy that he needs in the discard pile now. And now Justin is in big trouble. We are going to be able to see probably a Phantom Dive from Mew EX here. If Riley can also get another Gardevoir down, then he'd be super safe. But we're easily going to see, if we can find the Clefairy, we're going to see a 3-prize turn here from Riley. Research. Let's see. Big 7. It's a lot of cards. And if he finds everything that he needs here, honestly, he's probably going to be the world champion. So this is the biggest research of Riley's life, probably. He's looking at what he has prized, and then he's going back to his hand. I don't see a way to find Clefairy. For Artisaning, checking the discard, failing the Artisan. Shuffling a lot here, so I don't think he has a Pokemon search card. I don't think... Does he have the Gardevoir in hand at least? I don't think he has a Dark Energy either. He could go for the Scream Tail, knock it on the Dusknoir. That's certainly an option. Looks like that is what we're going to see here. No Clefairy. Gonna attach one more energy to Gardevoir. Retreat it. And then I think we're going to the Scream Tail here. Yep. And I think we're probably going after the Dusknoir to make sure that this Gardevoir does not get knocked out by. Oh, this is scary though, because Justin, even without the Dusknoir, would be able to go for Counter Catcher, Phantom Dive, knock out both Curly and Gardevoir here, if Riley doesn't have another Gardevoir in hand. So I'm not sure. I kind of thought I saw a Gardevoir, but I'm not confident. Definitely not confident enough to be like, oh, to just be like, yeah, he's got it. He's got a Bravery Charm in hand, not doing that much. Okay, so he is going for the Dusknoir. Adrenaline Brain, 60 damage. And then just Roaring Scream the Dusknoir for 120. Taking that out of the equation is definitely a big deal. But I can't help but think that Justin is in a commanding lead now, as long as he finds a Gust this turn. Counter Catcher is accessible even. Now the damage did all come off the Curlia, actually. So okay, Justin cannot board wipe then, yeah. The Adrenaline is healed off the Curlia, so Riley's still in a reasonably good position then. Best thing that Justin could do, I guess, would be knock out Gardevoir and Scream Tail. I don't even know if he'd want to knock out the Scream Tail. Probably not. Probably do want to... I don't know. I know knocking out the Gardevoir doesn't even seem that good, because the Guardia is not... It's going to be pretty easy for Riley to find another one. You're really just taking prize cards. To take prize cards at that point. But I mean, Justin does have a pretty good path to take all of his prize cards, right? We're looking like he's eyeing up the Ultra Ball. Because the Mew that is going to be an easy 2 prize cards. The Gardevoir is pretty much dead. The Screamtail is going to be easy to pick off if he gusts around it. And then he just needs to find one more prize. So if he sets up another Dusclops, that's probably enough to get that last prize card in range. So I think what I'd like to see here, maybe my instinct would be Counter Catcher Mew, bench Duskull, Phantom Dive, Iono to 5, Phantom Dive Mew, and Screamtail, take 3 prize cards. And then, but, like, I don't know, because Riley's probably still going to find the way out. I just don't know if there's a better play for Justin here other than trying to hope that Riley misses this turn. You can maybe give it some more time and hope that Riley misses in a couple turns. Maybe not bench the Duskull now, wait till later. Just discards the Poffin. Night Stretcher for the Duskull. Yeah, okay. So we are getting the Duskull down this turn. And we are playing the Iono. We didn't have the Counter Catcher yet. So if he finds it, I think that he's going to go for what I was suggesting. Well, no, because if the Gardevoir stays in play, he's got to go after the Gardevoir. Because if the Gardevoir stays in play, then the double Adrenaline can kill the Duskull anyways. So I think he's going to try to do something similar to what I mentioned, but he's going to have to go for the Gardevoir first and then the Mew second. That will at least force Riley to find Gardevoir as well here. Because yeah, obviously you don't want Riley to just double Adrenaline onto your Duskull. Ultra Ball. Something goes to the bottom. Reconstruct if we can. Jamming Tower. And some supporter. I didn't see quite what it was. Maybe Hilda. I think he kept the Jamming Tower anyways. It'd be worth it to bump the Artisan here for sure. Just take out Gravy Charm out of the equation potentially, and make it more difficult for Riley to find. He'd find like another Monkey or Super Odd for Screamtail and Artisan it back out. Does he have Counter Catcher? I mean he needs the Counter Catcher here. Obviously you don't want to Phantom Dive into a Screamtail with 30 HP left anyways. Got the Luminous Energy on the Munkidori. Cannot do anything with the Adrenaline Brain this turn, unfortunately. And Riley's probably going to continue to play around the Munkidori, but at least now that's what's going to have no Counter Catcher. So just Phantom Diving into the Screamtail and putting 60 on the Kirlia that can just get all moved off with Munkidoris onto that Duskull. That's really bad. Let's just be clear. This is really, really bad for Justin now. Now, what happens if we get... Do we want to get a third Munkidori out here? Probably not. I don't think that really does that much. I think we want Clefairy and to use Phantom Dive with Mew. Earthen Vessel gets that last Psychic Energy. We're going to Nest Ball. Clefairy's in the front, so yeah, that is what we're grabbing here. He's got Ultra Ball, Gardevoir, and Iono, so we're not going to be playing that Ultra Ball. We're just going to be attaching the Psychic to the Mew for turn, probably. Evolving the Kirlia into Gardevoir, and then using Iono, and that pretty much wraps it up. Justin just concedes even. Wow. And that's it. Riley Mckay is the 2025 World Champion. That is another Canadian World Champion on the record. Huge congrats to him. That's amazing. honestly, it was exciting to see him in NAIC finals already. So to see him come second in NAIC and immediately follow it up with the world champ, this is the kind of back-to-back events, like, this is on par with Tord winning multiple internationals in a row, right? Like, that is an absolutely insane accomplishment. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all of my coverage of the event. Congrats to Riley again, and I'll be back soon.